So I'm making this guide for those of you who are struggling to find gas analyzers, and you will need to find 3 very early into the wipe for therapist tasks, and people do seem to struggle every wipe with this, so I figured I would make a guide on the 3 methods that I have the most success with in order to find them, so that way you guys can pick whichever one suits you the best. So gas analyzers can be found in filing cabinets, sports bags, toolboxes, dead scavs, ground or barrel caches, tech supply crates, medical supply crates, and jackets, and you can also craft the gas analyzers at workbench level 1. However, doing this does take 17 hours to complete. And while working away at this task myself while using one of these methods, I was able to get the 3 gas analyzers that I needed within 2 hours. So during this guide, I will be showing you guys routes for reserve, streets, as well as interchange, so that way you can pick whichever map that you prefer, but I do find that I have the most success with reserve myself. So reserve and streets are both amazing to go for filing cabinets because they do both have a couple of areas that have several filing cabinets in close proximity to one another that are rarely hit, which will help you to be more efficient with your looting. One of the huge negatives with reserve though is that all of the PMC extracts are absolutely horrible, so knowing that, I will usually go into raid with the intent of taking the no backpack extract. So I will wear basically any rig with a lot of space that I do have in my stash so that I can still make money as well as extract safely. Now your other option for reserve is to basically use your scav every single time that it does come available, because all of the scav extracts are actually quite good on that map. Now this route that I am going to show you guys, most people do avoid this part of the map for the most part, which is the black and white night buildings, which have 7 and 5 sets of filing cabinets respectively, that you are able to access without keys, and you can also add in the White Queen building, which is right next to the Black Knight, where there is another 8 filing cabinets that you can access without a key. Now if you're not fully comfortable on reserve, or you want the best possibility of having a quiet and chill looting raid, then I would recommend going at nighttime, because most people who are going to come to reserve at nighttime are going to be trying to avoid PvP and just tasking, or they are going to the bunker to try and get less contested raider kills. I will be showing you guys the route during the daytime though, so it is easier for you to follow where I'm going. Now I am just going to be showing you guys the route that I take for the 3 buildings up above ground, but if you are feeling brave, then you can also go to the underground bunker, where there will be another 14 filing cabinets for you to loot in close proximity to one another. However, that is a major hotspot for PvP, and reserve mains are literally no joke when it comes to PvP, and especially in that specific area. So we're here on reserve, and the dome is up here on the top of this hill. We are going to turn directly around and then head into the White Knight building. Once we go in through this door, then we are going to go into the second room on our left, where we will find 2 filing cabinets. And after you loot these, then we can go all the way up to the 3rd floor, since the 2nd floor is blocked off, where we will find another filing cabinet on the right side at the top of the stairs. Once you loot this, I do typically check the 2 rooms that are going to be on your right side down the hallway for possible gas analyzer spawns, as well as other valuable spawns, and then we will head out onto the rooftop area, and then there is 2 drop down holes, but we will be taking the one that is on the left on the far side, and that will bring us down to the 2nd floor. Then you're going to head into this room that's on your right hand side, where we will find another 2 filing cabinets for you. And then after you loot these, then we can drop down through the balcony and land on the sandbags beneath us to not take any damage. And then we're going to make our way heading across the open area towards the Black Knight building. Once you enter into the Black Knight building by entering in the door on your left hand side, then we will go all the way down just before the stairs and enter into your last door on your left there, where you can find 1 filing cabinet behind the bookshelf in that room. After you loot this, then we will head up the stairs and go into the first room on your right on the 2nd floor, where there are 2 more filing cabinets for you to loot there. After you finish looting here, then you can make your way up to the 3rd floor, where you will find 3 more filing cabinets in a single room, as well as a jacket that is on your right hand side. And after you loot all of this, then there is also a filing cabinet in the very last room on your right hand side at the end of the hallway, as well as some PC blocks that you can also check for additional loot. Now after you loot all of these, then you can either make your way to the no backpack extract or whatever extract that you do want to use, or you can move on to the White Queen building. I will be showing you guys the route that I take into the White Queen building, and then that way you will have the option to either add that onto your path or to just go and extract. So as I move to the White Queen building, usually I do take the metal exterior steps on the back left of the building up to the 3rd floor, and then I start up there. So once I enter into the building, then I will open up the door on my left hand side, enter into this large room, and then you will have 2 filing cabinets, one that is immediately in front of you, and then the other one that is on the far right side of that room. After you loot both of these, then I will move out into the hallway, and then the room on the right hand side just before the stairs has 1 more filing cabinet for you to loot on this floor. And then once you're finished looting here, then just go past the staircase and then down the elbowed hallway until you find a room on your left, which you can open to find another filing cabinet on your left hand side inside of that room. After you loot this, then we are going to go back to the staircase and head down to the 2nd floor. On the 2nd floor, you will have 2 filing cabinets to loot. One is going to be inside the room on the far left side of the room directly across from the staircase. And then another filing cabinet is going to be in the room just next to that on the right hand side after you come out of that room. After you've completed looting this, and we can move down to the first floor, you're going to go through the graded door, and then you're going to continue on past the exit to the building to the door on the immediate right after it. You're going to open up this door, and then you will find 2 filing cabinets on the right side of the table inside of this room. So after you've looted here, then I do recommend that you can either move towards your no backpack extract or towards whatever extract that you do have. If you are a scav, then there is also one additional area that you can go in order to loot filing cabinets on your way out of the map. And it is especially convenient if you do have the checkpoint fence scav extract, because the 2 filing cabinets are going to be located inside the building just before the checkpoint fence, which is located just at the base of the dome hill. So now I'm going to bring you guys over to streets, and there is 2 locations on this map that I would recommend for this task, both of which are hardly ever looted. The first location is going to be the building for the population census task just outside of the You've Got Mail apartments next to the playground. And other than people going here for the population census task, you will rarely ever find people inside of here. And you are going to have 8 filing cabinets that you can loot in here in this building, all on the first floor. The first room is going to be immediately on your right hand side. After you loot this, then you will find a filing cabinet in the back room that is closest to the You've Got Mail building. And then just across the hallway from here, we will have the room with the large countertop in it. You will have 4 different filing cabinets in this room. The first one's going to be horizontally on the far left corner of the room, and then you will have 3 that are going to be behind the huge counter. The second location is going to be in the opposite side of the original streets map by the large cinema. So looking at the cinema here, if you turn directly around as if you are going to go towards the marked room, then you are going to go inside of this door here and then head down the hallway. You will come to an office, and inside of here you will find 1 filing cabinet on the far right corner. And then if you turn immediately to your left, as soon as you go in through the entrance of this room, then you will find 3 more filing cabinets there. Once you loot through this room, then we can leave out the way that we ended up coming in, and then you're going to take a left and head down the road towards the Sewer River extract. And about halfway down the road on our right hand side, there will be a safe that's just off the road on the sidewalk there that you will be able to loot. And then after you loot the safe, then we can go through the red door that's just on your right hand side. You will take a left, and then you're going to find a storage room on your right hand side where you will find 2 additional filing cabinets. And then basically after you loot this, then you will be able to go and then extract at whatever location that you do have for that raid. Either one of these 2 streets locations are going to be by PMC or scav extracts, so they are definitely worth checking on your way out of a raid if you do happen to be around there. So here's a map of interchange, and I do have these stores circled where you do have the ability to find gas analyzers, which is the Ollie store, Techlight, Texo, Rasmussen, Brutal, German, TTS, the Idea GPU room, as well as the power plant. So we will be starting with Ollie, and I am here in front of the cash registers, and where you can go to find them is along any of the shelves throughout the entire store. And now with dynamic loot, then you also do have the chance of toolboxes spawning more throughout the entire store as well, where gas analyzers also do have a chance to spawn. Once we move out of Ollie, then we will go to the left up the escalator and then into the store straight ahead of us at the top, which is Techlight. Inside of Techlight, then you can find them on the countertop as soon as you go into the store on the left, or along any of these shelves inside of the store. So usually I do make a lap of the store checking the left spawns on the first way around, and then on my way back to the entrance, then I will check the right side shelf spawns all the way back. Then we're going to go down the same escalator that you ended up coming up so that we can go to the bottom, and then immediately at the bottom we will turn left and then go into the Texo store. And then once we go into the Texo store, then you will want to look on top of the washer that's next to the furthest right shelf, since that can have any high tier tech loot spawns as well as gas analyzers. And then basically you're going to walk throughout Texo, checking all the shelves throughout the store as well as the shelf on the back of the store, since they can spawn there as well. After you clear Texo, then we will make our way out of Texo and then turn left and head towards the center of the mall. On the way there, we will have Rasmussen on our right hand side, which is a massive hotspot and also a choke point, so just be aware that you will likely run into players here. Inside of RAS, you can have tech spawns on all of the countertops or shelves throughout the store, and also behind the desk at the very end of the store on the right hand side. There is also a Tetris spawn that's on the ground next to one of the tables as well. Now moving out of RAS and then towards the center of the mall past the hole in the ground, you are going to head up towards Kiba and Mantis, and we will be going into the Brutal store, which is directly across from Kiba. This area is highly trafficked by players as well as AI scavs, and this also did used to be Killa's main spawn, but currently he is only spawning on the top floor. But just be aware that BSG could also change that spawn again, and they could move him back here or anywhere else in the map, so I figured I would mention it. Inside of Brutal, you will have more green Ollie looking shelves as well as other metal shelves, which any of them do have the chance to spawn tech loot or other barter items such as building materials, tools, etc. So they're definitely worth checking for gas annies. Then coming out of Brutal, we will turn left and then go to the store which is directly across from Mantis, which is called German. Inside of German, you will want to look on the countertops that are along the far left and also the far right of the store, and also the tiny display tables that are in the middle of the store, since there is a chance for any tech loot to spawn on there. Continuing further down this hallway, once you've checked German, you will head past the Emercom store to the very end of this hallway, and just to the left of the water fountain, or at least we call it a water fountain in my group, you will have a store that's called TTS. Inside of this store, you want to check to your immediate left as soon as you enter into this store on top of the tables, as well as the shelving units that are in here. And then there is also possible spawns for tech items throughout all of the other tables that are strewn throughout this room as well. Once you are done with all of these stores, then you can head over to IDEA if you want in order to check the GPU and storage room, which is going to be at the very far side of IDEA. Or depending on your spawn, it could already be hit, but if you do want to go there, once you enter in through these double doors, then you will want to check on top of the counters that are immediately in front of you as you go through the doors, and then you're also going to want to check to the right of the countertops as well. After you finish checking these countertops, then you're going to move through the next set of doors into a shelving area, which can have several loose tech spawns. And as you see in this video, I did have 2 gas analyzers spawn in the same raid for me here, so it's definitely worth checking. And once you check this area, then I do have one more place for us to loot, which is going to be at the power plant. So once you enter into the power plant, then just go past the power switch into the back room. Inside of here, then you will have a shelf to your immediate right, which can spawn any high tier tech loot in the game. And then inside of here, you will also have 2 sets of filing cabinets that you will be able to check at the same time, as well as jackets and toolboxes throughout the power plant that you can also check as well. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is just a couple of my different social links in case you guys wanted to connect more easily. I am primarily streaming on Twitch now multiple nights a week. So if you do want to connect with me or my community, that would probably be the easiest way to do so. And if you do come over to the Twitch and you want to join the Discord community, then just type !Discord or cord in the chat in order to get an invite link. And if you don't use Twitch, then I do have a link in the picture as well as a link below in the description. And we are growing and currently have an active and welcoming community with people of all experience and skill levels. So there will always be someone who could help to answer any questions that you may have. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching the video, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.